Hello, this is Sophomore Astrology, and to continue the Mars series, I wanted to talk about Mars in Scorpio. So first off, I just want to give a first overview of Mars like I have with every video. Mars is considered the god of war in mythology. It is considered the warrior. That energy is it's a physical energy. It's also a sexual energy. It's about your drive. What motivates you? When you wake up, what are you motivated by? How are you motivated? And how is that motivation just expressed when you go about your day-to-day life, getting things done and getting things completed? How is that done? How is that seen? Like, what is that visual of your physical energy? Now, when we're talking about Mars and Scorpio specifically, it's a very comfortable relationship between these two, between the planet of Mars and the sign of Scorpio. It's almost so comfortable that I was trying to understand, like, what is the difference between Mars in Capricorn and Mars in Scorpio? Because Mars in Capricorn is exalted. And I was wondering, why is Mars in Scorpio not, or why is it not exalted, versus Capricorn? So I kind of will touch on that later, but I just kind of wanted to talk about that because that distinction is very important, and that's why it makes kind of Mars and Scorpio very unique to itself. So let's dive in. Mars is a hot and dry planet, and Scorpio is a moist, cold sign. It's feminine and it's nocturnal. Mars is kind of like I'm trying to think of it. It's like Mars, there's the sun, which is very bright and it illuminates over planet Earth. Mars does not give life necessarily. Mars is known to destroy. And when you place Scorpio when Mars is placed in Scorpio, it's actually kind of a beautiful thing that kind of comes together. Because you take Mars, which is supposed to be kind of bright and loud and hot and dry, and you take Scorpio, and also Mars is very masculine too. Because Mars is associated so strongly with Aries. Aries is the god of war. Sorry, I think I said Mars before, but I meant Aries is the god of war, and Aries is just outrightly just so obviously masculine. It's honestly probably the most masculine planet in my mind, because it's so direct and aggressive about expressing that, And then you take Scorpio, which is a very feminine and nocturnal sign. It's kind of like, it's nice. It's a good mixture because this allows someone to be very controlled. It doesn't take away their strength at all. If anything, it adds another type of a layer, or if it's multifaceted, it kind of adds another face to the situation in a very nice way. Because Scorpio is a very controlled, very calculated energy. It is dark, but it's dark because it can readily detect the light. And because light cannot always detect darkness. And that's the thing, that's the edge that Scorpio energy has over maybe other signs, is that it's very hyper aware about the polarity between light and dark. So to kind of get more into it, there's two things I looked up that I thought was pretty interesting. One is I just Wikipedia'd what a scorpion, the scorpion, I don't know what the species category is for a Scorpio. I don't want to even scorpion. I don't want to say bug because that doesn't seem right. Maybe it is. But a scorpion, I thought it was interesting. It has 8 legs. Like Scorpio, the sign, it rules the 8th house, And when I was looking at what kind of like how a scorpion attacks and everything like that, they're very calculated about their attack. Definitely that Scorpio energy, especially Mars and Scorpio. As I'm talking about how a scorpion moves, I also am talking about how Mars and Scorpio people might move, how they make things happen and how they protect themselves. Because a scorpion will kind of show its stinger, before it does anything. And it'll kind of like show itself And it'll show the weapon, but it won't show necessarily what that weapon is capable of. Not to say Mars and Scorpio people are a weapon, but when it comes to asserting yourself and protecting yourself and honing in that energy when it comes to like the don't fuck with me, Scorpio will probably say don't fuck with me first before, like, while they're kind of like feeling the sense of being attacked. Maybe not sometimes, because like I said, it's a nocturnal planet. Scorpio is known to be in the dark. So how much they let their opponent know what they're doing may be seen. There might be a warning. Who knows? They might just sting you right away. And what I thought was interesting, a lot of the time, Scorpions, they aim for the eyes. They want their opponent to not be able to see what they're doing. Scorpions do not want to be, Mars and Scorpio do not want to be vulnerable. They will be very hyper aware of their environment at all times, and how other people feel as well. And they also too, that's why scorpionic energy will kind of like be reclusive and introverted, because they do not want their own emotions to affect the environment. Because if their emotions affect the environment, then that's not a good reading of the temperature of the room, or the people that they're around. I also thought this was kind of cool too. They withstand intense heat. So that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about the two, because even though Scorpio is ruled by Mars, and Mars is a hot and dry planet, Scorpio, the sign, is known to be moist and cold. So Scorpio has the ability to kind of cool the intensity of the heat. And honestly, it said that on the Wikipedia page, it was like Scorpions can withstand intense heat. And that's very true when it comes to Mars and Scorpio, where they can withstand when Mars, maybe like the aggression or aggression of others might be too much. They know how to cool it off, whether it's like protecting themselves, however it is, they know how to manage that energy, and they know how to kind of balance the heat of Mars with the coolness that they have of their sign, Scorpio. So, and I also thought this was cool because it said in the page that Scorpions, they have the ability to survive. Even like I believe it was like atomic bombs and stuff like that. Scorpions were like some of the last animals to still survive afterwards. So it made me think, like, a Mars and Scorpio, if it's well aspected in the rest of their chart, these people they're like the people you saw in Walking Dead, or any like post-apocalyptic show or movie you can think of, like I Am Legend or Walking Dead, or I can't think of any off the top of my head. That one with Denzel Washington where, he's like blind or whatever. Those people are the people who are probably going to survive after a post-apocalyptic era, because we have Mars and Capricorn. They just have so much energy. They're just going to be able to survive on energy alone if they're able to direct it in the right way. Mars and Scorpio will be able to survive because that energy is already they have a self-preservation. That's their goal. That's their MO, is to preserve thyself. Because that's the difference too I wanted to highlight between Mars and Capricorn and Mars and Scorpio, is because Mars and Capricorn wants to use that energy to build, to create a legacy. Capricorn is about that 10th house, career, reputation. Like, they want to build something. They want to build an empire. That's what a Mars and Capricorn wants to do. A Mars and Scorpio wants to preserve themselves. They want to be the last man standing. That is a Mars and Scorpio. And also with that, I also want to talk about, because Scorpio is known to be such a sexual sign, and it makes sense. If you want to, if you're talking just about biology in general, how does a species preserve themselves? They reproduce. So it makes sense that Scorpio is all about that reproductive life. They want to express themselves sexually, but also too, it's very controlled. They will only partake in sexual urges if they feel like it is a safe environment. If they feel like anything is off, if they pick up any energy that is off, they will not partake in it. But once they do, they definitely indulge, and they definitely will what I can't think of the words, but they will definitely partake in the festivities that is sexuality. They will not hesitate as long as they know that their safety and security is good. And then I kind of wanted to speak on, I thought it was a cool mention, just like to talk about the light and dark aspect of Mars and Scorpio, is that scorpions have that they have a fluorescent chemical that allows them to detect light. So Scorpios can feel they could feel someone's energy. They could feel the light. And also too though, but they remember darkness very well. They're very accustomed to darkness. And the thing is that like a Mars in Scorpio will remember, like they could have great muscle memory, especially if they like work out and stuff like that. Also too, they will remember how they felt in certain ways, like how their body felt. You know, I feel like these people are very aware. Of course, the aspects affect things, but these people could be very aware of their environment, how they move, and they have great muscle memory. They have body memory too. So these people need to definitely, if they have any, like, if you have PTSD or if you're still trying to deal with trauma that happened, for sure, like, I feel like it's important to kind of bring attention to maybe like trauma that has been stored in the body, like memory in the body. So I feel like that's important too. But also what I love about Mars and Scorpio is that Scorpio is all about decay. And the thing is that Mars is about destroying things, right? And the way a Mars and Scorpio might have something die is through decay, like fungi or something like that, you know? And what I love about that is that when fungi only grows when something has gotten to the point where there's a lot of water and there's not enough of something dry to hold that water, you know? And if there's too much water and not enough like solid or not enough, you know, carbs or whatever, like the food may be, if there's not enough sugar to hold that water, then something will decay. And honestly, decay is not a bad thing because it's kind of showing that this life form has kind of expired. And that's what I think Mars and Scorpio is very calculated in how they destroy things. Mars unchecked will just destroy everything in its sight. But Mars is very calculated and knows what needs to be destroyed to be made new again. So yeah, that's kind of like what I wanted to speak about Mars and Scorpio. I really feel like this is a really cool placement. And hey, if anyone has this placement of Mars and Scorpio, let me know like if this resonates with you, because I'm always willing to like learn more from other people's experiences as well. So with that, I would like to say just thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.